Right. Good night. Good night. Good night. Welcome again to another episode of Fortress Fitness Podcast. And tonight we have another amazing guest, as always. This guest is a friend of mine. I met her some years ago, and she holds two caps actually. One in fitness as a trainer, good one to boot. It's few trainers that I really recommend and would really promote. She's one of them, and she also is a dance instructor. Um, and she will introduce herself. She will tell you all about the dance, about the training, and all of that. And she's amazing and beautiful with it, mind you. Right? So let's bring her on stage. And good night,
Good
Kavita.
night, Victor.
All
Hi,
right.
thank
So
you.
Kavita, right. So I would have big you up on the entry there. All right. So let
Yes,
me get
you want to start more of blushing, but go ahead.
let me let me allow you to introduce yourself properly, and
Hi.
and we will start there. Yes.
All right. Good night, everyone. Most of you know me. I'm Kavita Nanhu. I am the trainer at JamFit CrossFit, located in Tunapuna. And but prior to my exercising life, I'm a classical Indian dancer, trained and performing for over 20 years. Um, For numerous reasons, I closed down my dance group earlier on and I've just resumed. So Victor is excited to show me off, and here I am.
Right. So first of all, I mean, you said 20 years with your dance, you're doing dance something, and you're looking like it's about 25. So I know you was doing dance in Delhi.
We're not discussing that, but
No, I know. I just listen. I'm looking at you. I'm just saying what I see, right?
yes,
So that's
yes,
fine. So
yes.
whatever you.
I started at age 4, and maybe the genetics and so on gives me this slim feature and
Well,
youthful look.
well, that's good. Keep doing what you're doing,
Yes,
and I mean, dance is a form of exercise as well.
yes,
Any dance is exercise, and plus you have your personal CrossFit session that you do, right?
yes.
So what we're gonna do, Kavita, let's start with the CrossFit section. What would have inspired you, right, to open that CrossFit session? Because I've been there, and
Yes.
how long you started that?
I started in 2021. My interest, like I said, was always in dance. And at some point, it kind of ceased. And I think for me, the gym life replaced my dancing life. So I would be working out. It was my escape room. Like most people, it's where you get to be you. It's your own me time. Focus on yourself. That was the moment, you could just let go of the world and, focus on yourself and work on yourself. So that's where gymming started for me. JamFit on the whole started because of COVID. Like a lot of businesses went out of existence and then new ones were born. I was one of them. Fortunately, the trainer I had at that time, Mr. Clitius Julian from Millennium Gym, was my trainer then. And we collaborated, and because I didn't, sorry, have any experience in training people or being a gym instructor and all of that. That was never really my thinking of what I would do in the future. It just so happened that I saw him in action, I worked alongside him, and I learned from him. And of course, from all my other gym trainers that I had along the way to where I am today. Right? For me, I like JamFit because you have to use your body, you have to use your skills, your strengths. Versus, I'm not bashing the gym life where you have to the gym equipment and so on. I'm not bashing it. Yes, everything has its plus and its negative, but for me, I see my clients have results very quickly because of the outdoor setting and the type of exercises that we do, which is really full body geared 99.9% of the time. So, I mean, that's where Jam Fit was and
And the
is.
well, and the name Jump It, where that came from?
Um, we used to go with just we jamming now, like I guess the carnival culture,
Yeah.
jamming now, and it took me about 6 months to come up with the name Jam Fit, and then when I finally come up with the name, it was one T, and then I added a T to represent TT.
TT, yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Well, I would say, based on what you said just now about the results that you get in your session, I've visited that session, I think, and
yes,
is nice. And I like the ambience of the outdoor experience,
hmm,
and it's relaxing. And I think that whilst I'm a gym, as you know,
yes,
and also we're not bashing the gym, I can't because I'm a gym
no, no,
rat,
no,
right? But your environment, it speaks of soothing. Once I know you're a hard trainer. I've seen you in action, and I know you train yourself hard as well. I've seen you in the gym, and I know
Mhm.
you well hard, and I know you pass that on to your clients based on what I
I
saw.
do. Yes.
Yeah, so the results that you talk about that you have seen, I mean, I've seen them really work when you're there with them doing their thing. And again, as I told you when I visited the first time, I like the outdoor experience of
Yeah.
CrossFit environment whereby it's to me that kind of environment training you for life in the sense of anything you bounce up out there, you could lift up something, you can jump
Correct.
out
Yeah.
there,
Yes.
you can jump over this,
Yes.
that's for life.
Correct.
That's different to gym,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That is what make that amazing, and that
Mhm.
kind of training really appropriate for such time as this, where you just know what might happen. You might have to run to save your life, lift something
Mhm.
up, and
Correct.
that is what makes that kind of training unique in the
As
combination of what
yes.
you do.
Not to
Yeah.
cut you across, but as I got more into training people and so on, I realized like my perspective shifted from just building muscle or toning or trying to get a small belly or whatever the case is. My perspective shifted to longevity, which I heard you spoke about already on your channel, right? Right, and being able to walk up a stairs when I'm say 60 years old, whatever the case is, or lift. Some people are single parents and have to be able to lift groceries up the stairs, these kind of things, so, and then I have elderly clients as well, and they are able to bend, unable when they come to bend or even squat, but by now they are. So it's, you see the difference in the bodies, not just for the physical look, but the longevity aspect of it. I'm more into that now than originally. So
Right, as how you started, and well, as you know, that's what I do, that's what I preach, that's what I promote, wellness. Right, I may be a gymmer, which I am,
yeah.
and the aesthetics is what comes by my people like me doing it for a period of time, and is the example that if you continue, this is the benefit of putting in the hard work, and we all know that, right? And training like that really really helps your muscle, and as you get older, your muscle mass tend to decline
Of
as
course.
you all get older, and strength training is critical, right?
Yes.
And I encourage people to just what you figure out along the way, and you shift
Hmm.
from just building muscle to really building strength. Because when you focus on the strength, muscle will come based on the training.
Yes.
And when you look at you know people abroad, who enter wellness and fitness, you know 60, 70, and I know some people who I follow, and they like normal 30-year-old, 40-year-old, because they
Nice.
continue after a
Yeah.
period of time. So
Yeah.
60-year-old now is like a new 40, the new 30, because once you
Hmm.
continue to exercise, and you must do strength training together with diet and exercise, you should be okay, right?
Yeah.
And you do. I just want to say on this platform, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank
And,
you.
I'm saying that to say is that, I don't, you just had a very rare you see me, big enough for promoting other trainers, unless I know that person it is really good, and I may get some slack, but it's fine. And I also believe a trainer should look like a trainer, male or female,
Yes.
and that's my position, will always be my position, because you can when I used to train people and I certify a long time ago, I used to do exactly what I was showing them to do, right? So if I
Hmm.
say 10 burpees, right, and some mountain
Correct.
climb, I there with you. And you are
Yes.
and I can tell you this, you are the only trainer I've seen it. It may have others in train that, sometimes I go burnouts and watch trainers and things like that. But when I was by you, I see it doing your thing as well. You're doing
Hmm.
exactly, and I know you could do exactly what you tell them to do, and that's
Hmm.
good because you continue your training with whilst you're training your
Yeah.
clients, and that's one thing. One reason I kind of stopped training people, because my trainer can't suffer for nobody else. I will
Agreed.
guide
It's
you.
you have to find a
Yeah,
compromise.
yeah, I don't compromise my training for nobody.
Hmm.
And so you find that's what Fortress is about. So anybody come to me, I'll put them to you and other people who I know is good trainers. And that's that's
Appreciate
that's
that.
why I have people like you is an associate and a friend and things like that, right? So
Hmm.
for the carnival season, you
Yes.
probably double up on your pump for that, right? You,
Yeah. I had my B shot.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because
I go for a mission first week in January to deal with these clients who only come. Sorry, I'm grateful, yes, but some of them only want to come for a month or two prior to
take them.
Carnival, and
Yeah.
they want to get in the best shape and the best look of their lives. I do pull some miracles. I call myself a miracle worker sometimes, but I'm here for it. I'm here for everybody. So I welcome everybody and support everybody along their journey, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, 1 month, 6 months. Yeah, I am here to support anyone on their journey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, year go, year come. This is what has happened wrong this season. I am anti carnival babies. That's just my position. I promote no, take them as trainers. You take them as a business, but also encourage them to at least maintain himself is 2 days a week after, because once
Yes.
you once you're embarking on wellness, then that's what you will preach for them. Take them to the carnival and do your best as much as you can within a short period of time, but to get the long lasting result and the benefit that everybody wants and they want to put in the work, you can't 3 months cannot give you
Yeah.
the body that you see a 2 years or a 3 year person have. It's
Yeah.
impossible to have that kind of body. All right. So just as I tell people, I train people for life, and I train them. And you said it earlier on, whereby to tote you in groceries at 50, at 60, at 70, at 80, and it have people living their life. I see them on social media. So, but you can't want that result and not put it in now.
Yes.
you know,
Correct.
uh,
Yeah.
and it's never too late to start. You can start at any age,
Any age. Correct.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what I promote. And I know it's not easy to start. You and I know we just have the same challenges as people who like the procrastination, the
Yes.
lazy
Yes.
mindset.
Of course.
What is keep us? We know different, people just feel we are different. We just have a big why, and we say, what, we had to do this. So when laziness come in our thought, we still go.
Yeah. There's a level of discipline that is developed over time. It's hard to start, as you're rightly saying, but I think after a while, your body misses it. You have to do it, otherwise you don't feel good.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah.
So there's that mental there, and then there's the discipline that comes with it. I think the discipline is developed over time for a lot of us. I really hope that what it is, but I think eventually, once you're in it long enough, your body just gets acclimatized to it. You have to do it.
Yeah, your body is your clientele and your mind, which is most important. Your
Yeah.
mind, it doesn't let your mind betray you like how it betray the average person who haven't started yet. Because
Hmm.
the battle is really being in your mind, gosh, going exercising is hurt, is pain, is the misconception, because
Yeah.
life is pain. If you don't there's something I say, Kavita, and I say it on my platform, and I tell people, you can't get away from pain. If you go to the gym, when you don't start, you're gonna get pain. You know that. You
Yeah.
get pain afterward, the muscles building and stretching, and that's what we do. And you'll get sore and all of that. But if you decide, let me take the easier way out now, the same thing you mentioned earlier on, you'll get more pain down the road, because when you reach 50 and counting, and
Hmm.
you have no muscle mass and you fall,
Yeah.
you
That's
break
it.
your hip, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. You
Yeah.
die from a fall because you have no
Yeah.
muscles to cushion. And then,
Yeah.
as you're not even healthier, because if you exercise, is build your endurance, is build your muscle, it make you feel good about yourself,
Yeah.
right? Your
The
mental, everything.
the independence will be long lasting.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And sickness like diabetes and all these things is
Yeah.
find a way to stay away from you. So
Well,
down the road,
the lifestyle diseases. I'm sure you've spoken about them many times
uh,
on your platform. So,
over and over and over.
yeah.
And it is what is I have family who suffer with that. I have a sister, big sister, thing with this diabetes thing. And I had a symposium, one of my symposium last year. I had someone from the Athletic Association, and the stats were over 65% of children being diagnosed with diabetes, and there's a high number, you know. And that's for those who would have checked, because there's a lot of people don't check and they don't know they have, or they have it or whatever. But it's a
Yeah.
lifestyle, because the food that we eat is really not that healthy as before. Like our grandparents used to prepare it, and thing is highly based with chemical and
Of course.
and that
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
The food
So
is the next topic by itself. That's for next day.
yeah, that's a story. And I think it's the hardest thing for people to give up, because whenever I talk about food with whoever, there's like, I know a Vic boy, but there's a but is always come after, the flour. Our culture is flour,
Yeah.
and rice, and that's two of these starches that really is not the best too
Hmm.
overall. but that is our culture. But nevertheless, I'm not going to endorse it. It's still you still have to at least cut back on it. It's something that portion size because
Correct.
it contribute to diabetes eventually down the road.
I try to tell my clients, I am guilty of eating the doubles now and again. You know, it's not an everyday staple, but once in a while you will feel for it and you satisfy the craving and you move on. I may be penalized for saying that, but that's just how I am. You know, but once in a month, once every 2 months, that's what may happen. You know, and I told them you don't cut back everything in one shot, in moderation. You know, you lessen down on your soft drink, you lessen down on the bread, whatever it is. Just cut down, not drastically, but incrementally, and you know you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, because you can't be eating all that flour, drinking all that soft drink, and get up in the morning and say you cut it off. It doesn't work like that.
No,
It
no,
is so the advice you're giving them is the correct advice
yeah,
because is about just say, you know what, if I just drink two soft drink a day, start with drinking one.
mm-hmm.
You had to wean yourself out of a bad habit.
Correct,
The
yeah,
same way the same way you're practicing yourself to a good habit, which is exercising, with the gym, going to savannah, going on hike or whatever.
yeah,
Is life, I often say this, Kavita, life is about a building block of habits. You have good habits to the right, you have bad habits to the left. What has
mm-hmm.
happened is that you have to try to don't let the bad habits outweigh the good habits. You have to first bring it down to equal, and then try to build the good habits so you could be in a better place down the road. And eating that doubles from time to time doesn't wouldn't make you unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Eating
Yeah,
flour from time to time, is not like that.
yeah,
Is about consistently eating poorly for a long period of time. Just bring those things down the road because people is very rare unless you have a condition that you're born with. But these lifestyle diseases doesn't really sneak up on you in your 30s. They start to show their face uh, mid 40s going down the
yeah.
road
Based on
because
the
based
earlier
on
habits. Yeah,
earlier habits.
yeah,
Whatever you put in the, as it's called, whatever you put in the kitty, that's what you go reap down the road. So if you put in good habits early in your life, even if you start 30, 40, it's fine. But most important thing is recognizing you need to make that change to
yeah.
healthier lifestyle as you get older if you didn't start before. And
Correct.
and for the females, you can look like you. So you're looking like you're reversing the time.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't I say it like I look good as well, you
Yes.
know.
Yes. Yes.
So yes, better than my age. I don't.
Yeah.
I said I often tell people, Kavita, is this: you can't stop aging. We're not talking about age, but you can change the way that you age with the life that you live.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't stop the number. The number go where that go. Me interested in that number. What I'm interested in is when the number goes where it's going, your lifestyle. You've been able to do the same thing in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, your 50s, your
Correct.
60s. Do the
Yeah.
same thing and don't have
Yeah.
no limitation, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is. So we will switch now because you and I could talk gym talk, I know, for a long period of time. So
Yes.
I want to get in now into the
The
dance
dance.
part,
But
the
before
dance
you do,
part.
and you brought up the word misconception, and it triggered something in me to speak about jam fits, right? When a lot of
Mhm.
people see our workouts and so on, they are intimidated. They say that to me that I can't do that, and I can't lift up that tire, and I can't pound that, and I can't do this. And I'm like, none of those persons started off doing that. It's a process, it's a progression, right? So don't be intimidated, whether it's jam fit or any other exercise group or the gym, whatever it is. Don't feel intimidated. You have to start somewhere. If you start with a trainer, I'm not boasting up or bigging up jam fit, but if you start somewhere where there's a coach, they will guide you, and that's what I do with everyone that walks in the door. There are people who are started at 65 years old. I have someone who starts at 13 years old, and I've trained them from the ground up, zero experience, right? That's I think my personality is one of nurturing. Maybe that's what Vic is seeing. Maybe the differences across the other trainers. I'm not sure. I'm not visiting all the other trainers to say, but that is my personality. I kind of like nurture and groom persons. I prefer safety over risks any day. So I will do my best to train you with that in mind. So take off the intimidation. If you want to try out jam fit, I am here to show you and coach you along the way.
Right. And again, I will just say something on that as well before we go to the dance, is that you're so correct. And everybody that you see, whether it's in the gym, I keep telling people this, right? If you go to the gym and you're looking for, and you now start, and you're looking for people who look like you may not really see. The end of the day, if you look to the right, you'll see people looking better than you. If you look to the
Mm-hmm.
left, you'll see persons just like yourself and worse, but people like you, Kavita, myself, and other trainers, or not even trainers, people who went to the gym and all of that, we wasn't looking like this from the beginning,
No.
right? As you
Mm-hmm.
rightly said, is that period of time. I started lifting, I never forget 10-pound weights, right? And I just tell you guys and them, the young guys, and when they come to me and they know how to change your body and look a certain way, I say, listen, one day at a time, one step at a time. Don't try to lift what you cannot lift.
Yes.
Start small. So
Yeah, yeah.
the tired that people now your training, Kavita, is dynamic. There's different kind of
Mm-hmm.
training. Your
Mm-hmm.
training is dynamic, meaning that is excited, is touch and go, is action, and you carry your vibes there. As
Yes.
a trainer, I've seen you in action.
Yes.
You're involved, you're part of, and that's excellent. I
Yes.
always believe a trainer not supposed to give what they cannot do for themselves.
I
So
agree.
don't say to do that. You can't do it.
Yes.
Vex loss. So you just be involved. If somebody come and see you there outside of you actually cheering them and doing it, and they wouldn't know you trainer if you hush them out, right? Because you actually working and sweating and beating tire and pushing tire, and so you is
And
a good
and
example.
videotape it.
Yes, and a video tipping. So that is the traits of a good leader,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's the traits of a good leader. That's what I'm saying. They have trainers and they have trainers, and there's certain trainers on the left and there's certain trainers on the right. That's why I say is that there's certain trainers that I personally endorse and I personally put in my magazine, and
Mm-hmm.
that trainers I wouldn't put. They could vex so much I want, but they're not trainers to me based on how I see they do their thing. Again, having a piece of paper in your hand will make you a trainer. It just
Mm-hmm.
makes you that you went and do a crash course and you want to come to no. No trainer is supposed, no, I don't rock so.
And there's one more thing I want to reiterate. Gym life is not only about losing weight; it's also about building muscle for the long run. I actually, if I wanted to bring a picture of me, I thought about it too late when I started. I am actually by nature a very skinny person. I'm admitting
Serious?
that online. Yes, my shape and size now is due to gym. If I'm to be very honest with you, I would have had legs and glutes from dancing.
Yes.
In my early years, my legs and my glutes would have been defined and formed, but my upper body was, I had no biceps. I don't want to show off, but I had zero biceps. I was so
Yeah,
skinny. When I look at
yeah.
pictures before I started gym, I would have to say I was skinny. So whatever you see now, if you do happen to see me, it's as a result of the gym life. So it's not only losing weight, but putting on maybe a particular size or shape that you're interested in as well. So there's both sides to the gym life, not just losing weight, trying to cut back and look a particular way, but also gaining. There's gain.
Yes, yes, and and it's good gain, right?
Yes,
Because
of course.
it's good gain, and as again, I just keep saying this, when it for the first time, people who join the gym and they really want, they had to know what they want, because what you might want in the gym,
Correct.
I might want something different.
Correct. Yes.
There's people
Yes.
coming to lose the weight based on
Mhm.
whatever reason, and there's have people coming to build muscle,
Correct.
and as rightfully know, the training could be slightly little different based on what is the
Yes.
expectation,
Yes.
right?
And
And
yes, we do that. We focus on what is your goals and targeted workouts towards that. Sorry, we went back to jam fit all the time.
no, well, it's okay because I know jam fit. I know the dance, both of them is a passion, but
Yes.
again, I will say about the jam fit is that it's something. I mean, I will always endorse and support. And I finish the jam fit yet, I'll come back there and do some stuff too
Yeah. We had to get you
because
people in the big tire.
yeah, I've been coming, but I had to
And
come and do some. I had to come and do some videos to put up on the reels that Fortress and Jam for doing some collabs. There's some stuff I
nice.
want us to do. We'll chat on that,
Much
and
appreciated.
yeah, we chat on that because I support you 100 because you're doing something good. You are the few groups studio that I see outside gym that in Trinidad right now that dynamic. They have
Thank
one or two
you.
that I know in Diego Martin and certain places, but
Yeah.
it's outdoors, but it's not dynamic. I wouldn't
Thank you.
call their name. I wouldn't call their name here,
So you
but
don't bash anybody. Everybody
no, no,
believe you.
no, 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 no. They're doing a good job, but it's different. Your
Yes.
training is geared. I did business long, trust me. Your
Mm-hmm.
training is geared to build muscle and shred and fat at the same time.
Simultaneously. Yes.
I
Correct.
can tell. I can tell.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can't come by you there. Once you reach there, a lot of people have to work. I can tell. You can't come. You can
Correct.
drag to reach there. To reach there
Yeah.
is now the people when I try don't get frightened. But I'm just
No.
saying, when you reach there, the environment is good, and you take care of your clients because last time I was there, you have fruit, something like that, and that was really nice. And
Yes.
the little things I look at, and that is
Yeah.
not about say, well, I collect any money. It's about hearing, and I
Yeah.
could tell you I have passion for it because I could see, how we treat your clients, and
Yeah.
they beat those stars with smile on the face. So
Yes.
at
They,
least, yeah.
they all say the hardest part is to show up. Once they show up, I will take over. Don't worry about
Yeah, no, correct.
it. Yeah.
It's you really, and that's why I decided, I've interviewed a lot of people. I've been in a lot of gyms and still be in a lot of gyms and a lot of trainers. And, if I telling you, and you'll be the first trainer, gym in the sense of outdoor, indoor, whether that actually going to do some stuff with, all right, in this
Mm-hmm.
2025.
2025. Nice.
Yeah, do some collaboration with because I like what you do and I'm going to send people to you based on what I do in bringing awareness to the Trinidad Union based on health and fitness, something like that. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
right. So now we go to the dance, please.
Yes, please. Yes, we can go to it.
Yeah,
Nice.
because I when I knew you all for the while I didn't know you used to be dancing is when I saw the what they putting up there. I think we talk and it's like okay, I know you're doing dance for so long, but
Yes.
I see it. So
Yes.
give us the story of the dance. We know you started since you're small, but
Yes.
what really push you into because you have different culture in Trinidad
Correct.
and why and what's the name of that dance as well?
The style is classical Indian dance. I always distinguish for edification purposes. Let me take it back. So, chutney dance, for those who may want to bash me, is not Trinidadian dance. It's not Indian dance. My apologies. It's not Indian dance, it's Trinidadian dance. For example, doubles is Trinidadian, Casa is Trinidadian, a lot of the Chana and Alu, bus up shot, all those things are Trinidadian. It is the Indian culture, yes, that we are known or know about in Trinidad and Tobago, yes. This is hard to say, I could get bashed, but it's not authentic from
It's
India.
okay, it's fine.
I am not authentic Indian. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, right?
I
There's the
know.
distinction. I need to make sure I have this distinction clear. I always have to tell people when I'm an Indian dancer, no, I am not a chutney dancer. No, right? I'm not bashing the chutney dancers, but there is a distinction. Classical Indian dance, there are about 8 plus more different classical Indian styles from India. Fortunately, my mom took me to a tutor in my early on age who was trained from India classical dancers. So that's how I ended up in this style of dance, right? It takes technique, it takes discipline. It took I took 2 years of training before 2 years of training before my dance tutor put me on a stage. That's the level of discipline and training that I would have gone through before performing, right? These days, the dancers want tooting and they're on stage.
Yeah, yeah,
they're,
yeah, yeah,
they're ready to
yeah.
perform, right? They're no routine. They're well dressed, they're well made up, but I'm not going to bash anybody, but I'm not sure what they're doing on the stage, right?
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
background I come from is discipline and training. I will always do foundation work first with all my dancers. I've had 2 sessions so far. 2025 we started back, and I'm telling them they might find it boring at first in the beginning, but I am very strong on foundation and very strong on the baseline teaching where I can then just call some numbers or call some moves and put some music and they're in time and they're in sync and they look unique. That is just to me what is basic. All right. So classical Indian dance, the style is Kathak.
Mm,
There are more than one style. Kathak is where the hands are like these,
mm,
right? Odissi can also have like these. Bharatanatyam is like these. right? So they're different. When you see the hand particular positioning, you know what style of dance it is. So
Yeah.
that's why I say it's a clear demarcation from the chutney style where you just see everything moving up all out.
All the hips and things.
Everything. There's no hips. There's no whining in classical Indian dance. You will have folk dance, yes, where there is hip movement, but not like Trinidad hip movements, Caribbean culture hip movements.
Yeah, well, I know
Not
what
like
that
that.
is.
Yeah, we all know what that is, right? So whether or not you're interested in classical Indian dance or dance on the whole, for me, it's a good form of exercise. It's good for relaxation. It's super, for me, it's a connection that I don't get with anything else at all. Not even the gym. It might sound bad, but it's the truth for me. It's a
Yeah,
connection that I get, um, I have to say spiritually.
yeah,
When I
yeah,
get into that zone, there, there's nothing like it for me.
yeah.
Um, I can say this online to most people that know me. I would take pre-workout to work out in the gym to give me
Mhm.
that push, give me that jam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, Saturday, today is Sunday. Yesterday was my second dance session. I took zero pre-workouts, and I was on fire. And I was up until 3 a.m.
Wow.
with the adrenaline from dancing.
Yes.
Right? Usually I have that same issue when I take pre-workout to go to the gym or train my clients or whatever the case is. I had none yesterday, none. And I was still up at 3 a.m.
Wow, that's natural energy, right?
That's to me, right? I am ready to choreograph and go on to the next level. I'm ready for next week,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
because
It's just my passion. So that's
and
how passionate I am. Yeah,
and passion does that to you because they say, once you're doing something that you like or you love, I should say,
it's not like
it's love. I can
yeah,
tell based on how you speak, but it is
yeah,
different to how you're speaking about the gym. And
yeah.
I can tell the distinction. And so I don't see it's 70-30 right now. The gym only get 30%. And
Hey, I try my best to give everybody all my love.
yeah, but no, but here is but also, do you have age group to join the
No,
dance?
no age group. Once you know your right foot from your left foot, you can start.
You can start, right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
about culture, is any race can join?
Any race, Vic? That's a question.
Well, I just, that is not for you. I know you, but it
Yeah.
knows that people want to, yeah,
My dance teacher, Miss Marilyn Raphael, God rest her soul, she's no longer with us. She was a doula. A sister, Miss Sharon Raphael, she's also, well, she's alive. They are doulas. So I have not learned from
yeah,
pure East Indian people. I have
yeah.
learned from mixed
Big,
people.
okay. And in our culture here, when they hear classical East Indian dance, there's some people will feel it's just for East Indian people. That's why I ask.
No.
Some people, not all, but some.
No.
So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
those who want to come like me and do all dance,
Sure. I am
right?
ready.
Once they had videotape, it's fine.
How the
Um,
people will know I was here?
so I
All
know.
this, all this talk and no show will not work. Like you have
Don't
to
worry.
give the
I,
evidence.
I know how to find you. I know how to find you. And
Yeah.
also, I know I saw your class online, and it always be more women than men, but guys could really
Of
come and
course,
join.
yes,
Right.
it's unisex. The moves are not, some men might feel the moves might be feminine, but it's not. It's nothing like that. Men and women. If you do research online, as we have now, you can see both men and women doing the same thing, and there's no ways about how it would look. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's really a personal choice. You don't have to do it for your career. You're just doing it for the passion, the
Yeah.
love, the fun,
Yeah.
the exercise, learning something new. One of the persons I had joining, she's from the UK, Geraldine. If you're on, hi, and her background is ballet. One of the main things that she has done before, and the classical Indian dance is not far from it in terms of technique and body alignment and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not far, so she's easily able to adapt. So she told me, it was frustrating a bit to start something new. She's over 40 as well, so no age limit. And she said she admitted it was frustrating on the first class to start something new, but then yesterday's session was like totally wow. because yes, it was the second session. It's different from the first session. So
Yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
said she was totally wow with yesterday's session. So I am very excited to go forward with,
But that's
more sessions.
well, that's good. And I mean, anything new that you're going to start for the first time, there's always a level of a little fear and
Hmm.
feeling awkward in a class that just like the gym we talked earlier on, feeling
Yeah,
awkward in a different environment until you start
correct.
to feel yourself and
Settling.
like
Yeah,
yeah and things like that. So I guess that was all good. And look at now, as they said, she like it,
yeah,
and she enjoying it, right? So
yeah.
where do you see what you really want out of your dance class. How do you see it growing? What platform and locally you will want to you and a group to perform eventually?
Well, Nattyam Yogam was created officially established in 2008. We've entered Best Village and many other competitions.
Okay,
In my
okay.
earlier, in my earlier years, we've been there, done that. I don't mean to boast or anything like that. I am not sure if I want to go back into that realm. It takes a lot. Dancing takes a lot when it becomes to the performance level. It
Mm.
requires drills and rehearsals almost every day. So prior to gym, I used to dance every single day because that's the level I was at. All right. So I am not sure where I want to go future wise, but I do know I would like the group to grow. I want people to learn as much as possible. My dance teacher, her knowledge, her foundation, and her push and her drive was always to share knowledge, right? And I have adopted a strategy. I also believe in the same way. It's not about money making. It's a very cheap fee to join the session. It's not about money making at all. It's about passing on the knowledge. For me, that is what it is about.
And that's being a good leader,
Yeah,
passing on the knowledge. That's which is rare these days. Everybody want to grab and hold on to what they know, and
yeah,
that's why the younger folks saying, what? How do you expect them to learn if you're not
correct.
showing them anything?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
that's really nice of you to
yeah,
view it and see it through that lens, and not about just the dollars and cents, but pass on the knowledge to the next generation to carry on that
yeah,
style of artwork. 'Cause that is art.
yeah.
So that's great. So if someone is interested, I know you advertise on your platform
Correct.
on JamFit, and
Yeah,
your contacts is there and
yeah,
all of that, right? And
yeah, yeah.
how much days per week do you do the dance?
So now we just on a Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Um, People coming in the future would have to come in at an earlier time. I'll have to work one on one with them. You see how far I have to go
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
because each dance class builds upon each class. So they're continuously learning and continuously growing. So if somebody comes in tomorrow, somebody comes in next month, I have to spend the time and go back with them to bring them back up to the speed
yeah,
of
yeah,
the class.
yeah.
So that's why you try to encourage people to start at the same similar time. But
Mhm.
in our culture, that's not necessarily always going to happen.
Nah, nah.
So yeah, if I want them to reach, I'll have to call it advanced class. Well, we're not advanced yet, but you know what I mean. We'll have to have
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
separation.
yeah, yeah.
Junior people now coming in, and then the advanced. So I'll have to work with them to bring them to the speed.
And there's a lot of working because it's usually is it tutor.
Yeah,
So you have to do, the beginners, the intermediate,
yeah,
the advanced.
yes,
So there's a lot of one day for now. I know eventually you will split it up based on the
yeah,
numbers,
yeah.
and that's excellent. Plus, yeah, you jam fit. How much days you do jam fit? I don't want to go back there, but how much
Jumping
days?
was 4 days. Now it's three: Monday, Wednesday, Friday at same 5:30, 6. Sometimes you flex to 6 p.m. Based on the traffic situation and all of that other conditions that was beyond our control. So basically, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5:30 p.m. Saturdays I kind of reserving now for advanced persons who are here for a while. They can fall in, they can do their thing while dance class is going on. I don't have to
Oh,
them or supervise them on a constant
mhm.
basis. I can say 4 in train that too, you know what I mean? And then I don't have to give them full 100. That makes me sound like the trainers you're talking about, but you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. You no,
But they're in an advanced stage where I don't have to show them or demonstrate or be with them in a sense to, make sure they know, they know what they're doing. I feel confident and comfortable that they will execute and do what they have to do. Those are reserved for the Saturday. Jammers.
Jammers, that's actually a nice name. And how much like jammers or gymmers that actually, I know you mentioned the person from I think England or somewhere.
Yes.
How much
Yeah.
of them, the jammers, gymmers, are actually interested in your dancing?
Dancing. Right now I have two of them dancing.
Okay, that's good though.
Yeah, they look great. I was surprised.
Serious?
I was very surprised. When I think of jam fits, I think of rough and tough and
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
That kind of spirit. And then I see them, oh, graceful. I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah. And
You know,
yeah, that's true, We're saying
that
that,
was really nice. That was really
yeah.
nice. That was really nice.
Y- Yeah, because coming from beating tire and lifting weights and jumping and skipping and all of that.
Pull-ups
But
and burpees and all kind of
yes,
thing, and then ta 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 ta, and I'm like,
yeah, just yeah, that just
that, yeah,
it's just relaxing but it's good because it's good for your brain, it's good for your body.
yeah, yeah,
It's good to not just do one thing. It's good. That's why
yeah.
relaxing stuff like that is good. You
I
know.
try to, I try to encourage them to I guess why you say jump fit is dynamic is because I try to encourage doing, yes, it's the same exercise, but in different combinations to challenge them. So it might be a burpee slam ball today. Tomorrow it'll be a star slam ball and a burpee together with some leg plank jacks. I try to create combos that challenge them because you who want to come and do the same slam ball over and over, you will get bored. So I am always, trying to create combos, going back to jump it. So to, stimulate them and encourage them and challenge them. And if you speak to any one of them, I am sure they will tell you the same thing. Is like they never know what they're coming to
and
do.
and, and that's good because and that's why I personally love not like CrossFit training is because a CrossFit athlete and a gymmer is two different athletes,
Correct, correct,
right?
correct. Yeah,
A CrossFit athlete is more conditioned than a gymmer. They're more overall stronger than a gymmer, without even
well,
question.
all
In the
right.
sense, yeah, telling you. So
Yeah,
when you look at the international CrossFit competition that's all in the states,
yeah,
what these men and women doing is unbelievable.
yes,
That
it
level of
is.
strength and
It
something I
is.
always,
Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, and most of them is people 40 and over and 35 and over, and it's
yes.
not no 17 and 18, and
No,
the things they're doing. I don't see any gymmer who just gymming alone. And I can say it here, not can't do that because there's a combination of not just strength training is you have to be flexible, you have to be able to
body dynamics. Yeah,
body dynamic,
body
and
training.
and
Yeah.
and that is why Kavita, me put, particularly, I mix calisthenics with my weight training
Very good.
is important because it gives you a different look and a different a feel and a different level of conditioning, right? And you can tell somebody who mixing that is very important to
Yeah.
mix it. But
Call
again,
yeah, we call it functional training on the side.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
again, that's excellent. And back to the dance. I know we're going back
Yeah,
and we're
back and
going
forth.
forward. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
It's just what it is.
it is what it is, and
Yeah.
you're so busy. How do you find time to do anything else?
My life has to be very structured. I know it doesn't sound too nice, but it has to be very, very, very structured, very planned, very routine. Any deviation, I'm like, do I have energy for that? Can I afford to do that? I need time to rest before jump fit. Nope.
Yeah,
It might sound harsh. I've reached the point where I have to tell certain people between this time and that time, I'm sorry, I'm not available. I am resting.
yeah,
It is that serious because everything requires energy, jam fit. I have to have an energy to give to the clients. The same energy that I want from them is the same energy I have
yes,
to give to them. So I have to reserve me for them.
yeah,
It's the same with the dancing, but for me the dancing, I guess because it's like I have to say born with it, because I've been doing it
yeah,
so long, it's easier. It's like a more natural flow. I don't have to prepare, I don't have to in my mind build something for the dance. But for jam fit I do because I want to make it, as you say, dynamic and sort of challenge it every single time they come. So I prep every single day for them, right? Well, you talk about myself. I prep myself first, right? So I have to prep myself first. I may not be getting enough sleep that I need, but I try to get as much sleep that I could get, right? And failure to that, I take a little nap before jump.
Mhm, mhm.
That is just how I be, right? Try to eat right, of course, as much as possible. I am a pescatarian. That is only eating fish and eggs. No chicken, no other types of meat. That is my diet. Prior to gym life, I was a vegan for over 20 years. Again, don't add up the numbers there again, Vic, right? Over 20
Nah,
years,
nah, nah, I added up numbers. I added up numbers.
I've been a vegan. And going into gym life, I started to eat the eggs and the fish for the nourishment, muscle building, protein building, and stuff. So, planning my meals, making sure I have my meals. I can't miss a meal. I feel very ill. I have to eat on time, my supplements. I go for B shots regularly. I really try my best to take care of me in order to take care of other people. So it's just like clockwork. I have to go do things by time. So by now, I'm finished washing all the clothes for the weekend, finished iron for the week, meal prep for the week, and I'm here to talk to you now.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm grateful for you making the time to give me the time to come to wrap on the podcast. I know, I've asked you a while, and I appreciate the support, the collab.
Sure.
Healthy and fit mind is
Yeah.
important,
Yeah.
and you helping people, I'm helping people.
Yes.
We our goal and people like us is to spread the wellness message out there, and it's not about just for looking, buff or looking sexy, woman and things like that.
No.
That's just the benefit of it, but
Correct. Yes.
it's
Correct.
more it's health. And you said earlier on, again, I had to reiterate is that being able to do things you would want to do when you get older, right? That you doing now, playing with your grandchildren, going playing
Correct.
a cricket and thing in your 50s, 60s, whatever. And it's doable because there are people who change their lifestyle. Some even start in their 50s, and they at that point now where they actually are healthy and their body it looks well and they're strong, and it's just a start. And I,
Yeah.
just start, and because listen, there's no amount of money you will have, and I've said this over and over. There's no amount of money that anybody can have when you reach down the road and you have, these kind of diseases that it's too late to cure. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yes. It's pretty
it's,
sad. Sorry.
it's sad. No, it is very
Yeah.
sad because Steve Jobs was the richest man on this planet, and his money couldn't save him. And he left something for people like us to pass on to let people know. All the money you have in the world can't save you when you're facing imminent death based
Mm-hmm.
on lifestyle disease and
Correct.
choices that we would have made earlier on, right? Lucky for some people, if you reach 40 or 50 and you realize, you know what, I'm feeling good. I want to, look in the mirror. The best way to start, the first place to start is look yourself in the mirror. And it's not based on size, but based on how you feel,
Yeah.
and love yourself. I know I often say this, love yourself before you can love anybody else. Treat yourself. Gym is not a group thing. Gym is an individual thing. It's something you do for you. It's one of the few things you can do for yourself that is nobody cannot do for you you know, and
Correct.
so and I said Kavita I think on a last week on a video or something, there's so much people say, I will die for my children, and they probably will, but how about try to live for them?
Well, I was wondering, why would I want to?
No, people that say they will give anything for the children,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
That's
Right. Right.
right, and that's fine. But give them life, give them your
Good
life
health.
living long. Give
Yeah.
yourself
Good
health for
health.
them,
Good
you
health.
know,
Good health. Yeah.
because no children. If you go wrong, if you and I go wrong, Trinidad, and doing some shorts video and thing, and we ask children, do you want your parents live long? Everybody will say yes, right?
Yeah. But long and
Right,
healthy,
long
because
and healthy.
to
Yes.
cut you across, when I look at a lot of colleagues, I mean, it's I don't want to seem negative, is that they have to now look after their parents, which we all think we have to do at some point. But I wouldn't want to be in such a way where I am, as I say, in not independent to look after myself in such a way that my child has to do everything for me, so this is where the health and fitness comes in. In the end, you want to be able to, as you say, still lift your grandchild, still be able to
Yeah,
bend down. If you
yeah,
fall, your hip not broken, you have
yeah,
muscles to support your body. I try to explain that to the jammers. It's just not about looking a particular way, as you're saying, it's to be able to do certain things as they get older, or even in the current age that you are in,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. And you can build the muscle, even if you start 50 or whatever, you can build the muscle and it comes.
Yeah.
It comes, the same way that if you do anything, it goes. If you
Yes.
start, it comes. So it's not doing anything really is what is keep deteriorating. And scientifically proven. I
Yeah.
think as you hit, I think it's 40 or something every year, you lose, I think 3% or
It
something.
starts at 30.
Thursday, right? It's somewhere. I think you lose like it's 3% or some
Correct.
percentage,
Somewhere around there.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I don't want to lose nothing. Losing, no, I ain't losing nothing. So to combat that, choices, and we boil back to choices.
Yeah.
you know if you want to eat what you want, which is still not good, you had to add some forms of strength training or some form of moving,
Correct.
right? If you want to, because, and the next thing I will say to Kavita is that, which is our next misconception in our culture, is if you slim, that you mean that you're healthy, and that's not so.
No,
When I talk to people, I need to work out. Look me, I slim. I'm not there, but no, it doesn't mean so. It doesn't
we
mean that.
don't we don't walk around with screen detectors to see what's going on inside of us. So we
Yes,
have to do what we have to do because we have to do it. you
yes,
know.
yeah,
There's something I wanted to say about.
and not only that, and we go to how much of us? I mean, I hear over and over where I work. A lot of people, nobody don't like Mondays. It's not a day people like our culture. They want to extend the weekend. One and two, a lot of us go to a job that we don't like, but we still go. Your boss pressuring you, your co-worker saying things, but the salary that we want, you have been 20 years or whatever, but we still wean ourselves and go. All right?
Yeah.
To help build somebody else's company who, you know, is will forget you in the blink of an eye if you get sick or if you die, right?
All right. Yes.
So the only thing you can hold on to fulfill the dreams that you working on is healthy. A healthier
Hmm.
body, you could run down your dreams later on in life if you had a bad start, right?
Late
So
start.
health, well, late start, bad start, bad start
Late
meaning
start.
that, yeah, yeah, But so I believe some people have bad start meaning. Why I say bad start is a late start, but I use bad start as some people from small, their parents might have died in an accident or whatever. That's a bad start. You didn't get any nurturing. Apart from a late start being career wise, you get a proper job. Later on in life outside of early, right? But the end of the day, we are here, all right, to just motivate and inspire
Correct.
people under the health and the wellness niche, and to encourage them. If you love yourself, you're supposed to make some changes with your diet. Eat as clean as you can. If not, don't overdo the wrong thing consistently. You
Yeah.
know,
I think
I
I have
Mhm.
three things I want to try to remember to say. Right. So it doesn't matter if you fall down, it's important that you get back up, right?
Yeah,
Because I have drummers that would have started, they're going for a whole 6 months and something happened, life happens. We call it life happens.
yeah,
But you know what? After the month or two, they come back. And that is the important step to come back and start. Don't quit. Like something happened and you just can't come back for a while, fine. You know what I mean? I'm talking about gym, wherever it is, whether it's jam fit, wherever it is.
anything.
You get back on the horse and you get back at it. Life happens. That's what we
Life
call it.
happen.
Life
Yes.
happens. But you get back up and you go again. All right. When you talk about a bad start, that pick a bone on me there. I know you're talking about the family issues,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
things
It's
that kind
fine.
of
It's
give
fine. It's
on,
fine.
give on, and so on. But if you well, you weren't fortunate to know about jam. It started with one red bench. What you're seeing today, we didn't start with a whole gym setup or a whole big equipment thing. We didn't start with a tire. We literally start with one bench, literally one bench, and I have cocktail tables. I use that as my stand for the squat rack. Two cocktail tables, I used to put the bar on the table, put some sponge and some concrete blocks on the table to make sure it don't rock and it don't roll. And
Yeah,
that was the squat rack, right? So
yeah,
I don't want to bash your bad statement, your bad start, sorry, statement, but I'm saying it to say start. Whether
yeah,
it's whatever business you want to engage in, I believe in starting. Just start. It will grow. It will develop.
yeah,
Somebody like Vic might come along, give you a little push, give you a little spotlight, a little promotion. Somebody will come. Things happen. Once you keep that positive mindset, something will
yeah,
happen along the way, right? So don't give up. And I will always encourage anybody to start, regardless of where you are. My uncle gave me one of the best advice ever in life. You will only get one step closer to a yes, no
yeah.
matter how many no's you got before. You will get closer to that yes. Just keep going. Just keep persistent. And I'm finishing by one more thing, Vic. um, when you spoke about inspiration and so on and motivation for other people in the health industry and so on, I like to think of myself as inspiration for females, particularly my daughter, and her peers or anybody along, females who may be struggling or I don't want to say struggling, but finding their way. It took me a long time to learn that you don't have to stick in one industry or one mold. Like I always was raised to believe, and not bashing my parents, in academia, and you have to go to school, you have to do this, you have to do that, become this profession, lawyer, doctor, whatever news. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes, yes,
I did my degrees, masters, etc., etc., etc. But I always knew I wanted to work for myself. I didn't know what in particular. I was one of those who didn't know what I wanted to do, but who I wanted to work for, which was myself. But I still have a day job. But I'm not bashing that either. But what I'm saying is I pushed through and I found my way to work for myself eventually, even though I have the day job. I'm still doing that, right? My role as the inspiration, what I'm trying to say is that not because you end up being, let me say, not bashing any profession. Let's just say end up being a nurse. Next 10 years down the road, you could be a personal trainer. I had no idea that's where I was going to end up. What I'm trying to say, you could switch career paths at any point in time. You could have multiple career paths at any point in time. That's what I am doing. I don't know how I do it sometimes. But what I'm saying is don't quit. Don't think that, don't box yourself in a corner that this is it. I decided I want to be the nurse and that is it. That's it for the rest of my life. No, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and what the message that you give like a Vita is a priceless message, meaning that first of all, don't quit, right?
Yeah.
And starting when you start one and not give up is one step closer to a yes, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think Jim Les Brown, one of his speeches is around there, which I listen to a lot. And just as Fortress, I had the idea in 2019, COVID come, asked around, but I know what I wanted, but I didn't know how to get there, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I would have stumbling blocks. I would have, now people will see the magazine, they will see this and that, but I look for people who can do some things and never give up. I had the logo way before I started, but
Good.
I know what I wanted. And look at, and it made 1 year, as you know, one
Yes.
year last year, and I produced 4 magazines in 1 year, a symposium, a lot of stuff, and I got a lot of no's. Don't feel I didn't get no's. I get a lot of no's,
It's
but
part of the growing.
it's part of the growing. And
Growing.
and another note of career path and the world is open to anything,
Yeah.
and most of the successful people that I have listened to, abroad, there's a guy who's going around on social media interviewing a lot of these millionaires out there, and even few here. Most of them is not. They drop out of school and be entrepreneur. Just what you mentioned, work for yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
as Jim Ron said too, and I only just saying this because that your statement reflects on what I've been listening to, is that use your day job to fuel your passion, right?
Correct.
Until your passion could handle everything that the day job is do.
Yes.
And I myself have a day job, and people, just as you, people ask me why I do it, because I work 12 hours, but I book 12 hours, and I mean not every day, but
Yeah.
I post, as you know. just as you post a lot too. I
Yeah.
post.
I didn't you beat me back, but go ahead.
Yeah, I post, I work, I do, this podcast. I go around gyms, be down south a lot, as you know, and I'm not from south here, and I go wherever I need to go. Just as you people say, Vicky, just slow down, you always go in and say, you know what, a time will come when I'll be slow down forever, and we all know what that means. But
Yeah.
until such time, I am running my purpose, and I know I'm in my purpose. I know in my passion because I'm in fitness. I've done a lot of things when it comes to fitness for a long period of time, and this is what I love. So the day job, yes, I'm bashing the day job manager watching me. I like the day job still, yeah. But
It's
but
necessary.
is necessary for
Yeah.
now. All right. So, people like us, most people don't understand based on the marketing we do during the course of the day, and
Yeah.
still find time to come to do what we love. Because if you really love something, doesn't matter what happened during the course of the day. When that time comes to do what you love, you'll have the energy, the same energy that you say that you find to do the dance class without using pre-workout. You know,
You're going to hold me to that one. Go ahead.
Yes, yes, but no, but it makes sense, Kavita, because
Yeah.
I know gymming is a pre-workout thing, because sometimes you need a pump,
Yep.
and
Yes. Some people do it natural. Kudos to them.
yeah,
But I think
well,
the level we have to give and run at, sometimes we need an extra push.
sometimes it's necessary. I never do it much, but very rare. But it have days that I'm really need a little push,
Yeah.
based on how the day went for me, right?
Yeah.
So I know, stranger. When we meet, I was like, we could talk for an hour. Look at hour gone already, right, Kavita? So you see, so
And oh yeah,
get
he didn't give me no script and he didn't give me nothing to, and I was like, what is man going and ask me, boy? I wonder if I can answer these questions.
well. The thing about it is, as I told you and some other person, when I bring people on the podcast, I could talk fitness for a whole 3 4 hours because I know this is what I know,
Yeah.
and everybody come here talking about whether it's an entrepreneur based on healthy products, whatever they're selling. If you can't talk about what you're doing, then something wrong,
Yeah.
right? So you just so you could talk about your dance and gymming. I mean, 1 hour is not enough. If you and I sit down around a table, we could talk about fitness and for hours. You know that,
Correct. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Based on we our knowledge and the length of time we're doing it.
Yeah.
So that's how the time is flying fast. So there's not a problem with guests who saying, gosh, um, that hour is nothing, all right? And you did well. You did well. I'm proud of you. And
Yeah.
later on after the carnival, I'll bring you back again, and we'll talk some more.
I might be
And
in hibernation then, but
yeah, well, you will talk how hibernation is be after carnival and all these people are training
yes,
for carnival, right?
yes. But
So, go
I
ahead.
also want to commend you, Vic, before the people disappear, if they're still around still. I'm not sure if there are many people doing what you do, highlighting people in the industry, fitness trainers, gyms, beverages, products. I'm not sure if there's anybody doing that. I'm not aware, but I do know, I see what you do, and I appreciate you a lot for what you're doing for everybody in the industry. I'm really, really grateful for that.
Thank you so much. I don't get much thanks, but I just do it. I do it because I love it, and I
Yeah,
do it because the trainers, as you know, in this country, good trainers and trainers not really recognized.
correct.
They very rarely get sponsored. They really make money to really make a difference in
Yeah.
this thing. It's really the passion and the love for it, right? The salary that they getting from a client, is not like what you see abroad. These guys and these women, they could buy a house and they're doing this and they get sponsored
Yeah.
and this and that, right? So I commend. Hence the reason why trainers, and I put them in the magazine, it's free and it's all of that because it's just to get them out there because they're helping save lives. People like
Correct.
yourself helping save lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
More than the health professional. And I will say it here, right? The health professionals give you plaster, they give you pills, that don't save life, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you are doing and other trainers is teaching people how to be healthy, how to eat better, how to exercise. That saves lives, and that's what I
Mm-hmm.
say. So before we go, your social handles for people who want to get onto you, where they can find you on social media, and you could
Yes.
say your numbers back. Yeah.
Currently, we're on Instagram, Facebook. I'm going to get bashed. I'm still not on TikTok. I can't manage it all. I don't know how we manage the social medias. But anyways, yes, Instagram. You can find Jamfit, Nattyam Yogam, Facebook, WhatsApp 713-4649 for both Jamfit, CrossFit, exercising, and Nattyam Yogam for dance classes. Just stay fit and active, people.
Yeah, and for those who missed that number, you can contact Vic. Any friend of mine who listening, contact Vic. I will personally cry you to meet Kavita personally. Drive you there.
Vic, okay, all
No, well, I know where to find you.
right, all
Your
right.
gym. So
Yes.
that's what I mean in that aspect,
Looking
right?
forward to having them. We'll have a whole session with them alone, just especially for you and your client. Your people.
Yes. So I'll bring a few people to just a trial session or something like that,
Sure, sure. We
right?
welcome them. Don't worry.
So right. So have a good night. Thanks again, Kavita, for coming. Thanks for giving
Sure.
me an hour to his precious time,
You're
and
welcome.
we will catch up again soon. Take care and God bless.
Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Good night.